This is my calzone pizza.
You will need, for the dough, strong bread flour, water, yeast and salt. And for the margherita filling, tin tomatoes, vine tomatoes, onion, garlic, sugar, hardened mozzarella, basil, and for a little bit extra flavour, some parmesan as well. I think people find the idea of making pizza at home a little bit daunting, but with this recipe, believe me, it's so easy. Now, I'm using strong bread flour, it's high in gluten, and this is going to give us a lovely stretchy dough. Next, the yeast and some salt. And then on a slow speed, gradually start to add your water. And turn up the speed. Then once it's all combined, let the machine knead for about 5 minutes. And let the dough hook do all the work. So it's really important to knead, you're putting air into it and you're really starting to work the dough. Cover with cling film and allow to rest at room temperature till it doubles in size. While the dough is resting and rising, now let's start with our tomato sauce. Take an onion, I'm going to cut down into a small dice. Now for me, a vegetarian pizza is the best, but I am partial to Hawaiian now and then. Some olive oil in the pan, nice glug. And you want to sweat down with no colour. Now some garlic. We've got 3 cloves here. This is the most important part for me, is to soften the onions without any colour. Take your time with them for about 10 minutes. And these may only be onions and garlic, but it is the base for the sauce. Now for the tomatoes, and just simply chop them. Now I just want the tomatoes now, just to soften a little bit, just about 2 to 3 minutes. Add some sugar, and then last of all, I've got tin tomatoes. Now I'm using a mixture of fresh tomatoes and tin tomatoes. You're going to get that lovely flavour from the fresh tomatoes and the tin tomatoes. You're going to add a little bit more richness and a little bit more juice. And after about 20 minutes, this is what you have. And you've got a lovely, thick, reduced tomato sauce. It's going to be perfect for our pizza. Now, for my dough. The yeast has worked its magic, completely doubled in size. I'm going to flour my surface heavily, so plenty of flour. I'm also going to flour my hands, take this dough. And I'm going to roll it slightly bigger than a 12-inch vinyl record. Now let's start to fill it. I'm only putting the filling into 1/2 because this is a calzone, which means folded pizza. I'm using hardened mozzarella because the soft stuff can tend to leak out a bit. Looks enough. Now some basil leaves. Just going to lay a few in. Then some black pepper. And last of all, just some olive oil. Now I'm going to fold. And then a bit like a pasty, I'm going to start crimping it. Fold and pinch. Fold and pinch and just repeat. And you want a nice crimp, just like that. Next we need to put it on a tray. And again, the most important thing is to cover with flour. Take the edge, just lift it gently on. I've got my oven on the highest temperature possible. The secret of a good pizza is heat. And in the oven, I'm going to place it on a pizza stone. Now, the pizza stone conducts heat. It gives you a lovely crisp base. I'm going to cook it for about 10 to 12 minutes.
If you don't have a pizza stone, you can preheat a cast iron griddle or skillet, or just use a baking tray.
And look at this. There you go. But not quite finished. I'm going to quickly, whilst hot, take some parmesan and just all over, and you'll see it just melt straight away. And just add in a little bit more richness to it. And of course some black pepper and a drizzle of olive oil. Right, now let's open it up. And there it is. There's only one thing to do, and let's get involved really. So, such a good pizza. And the flavours are just, wow.
A treat and a half. That's my tomato, mozzarella and basil calzone pizza.
Just at the core, just want to cut away. And of course, you always use this for corn on the cob. And I want this mash to be full of flavour. So, I'm going to make it really oniony. Put a bit of butter in the pan and just add the onions.